This is the new Skoda Scala, and it's an alternative to a Ford Focus, a Vauxhall Astra or a VW Golf. And it's is it a hatchback or is it an estate? Anyway, we'll find out in this review. Let's start off this review by talking about the price. So the Skoda Scala starts from just under £17,000. This one I've got here is actually closer to £21,000. However, you can save an average of almost £4,000 off on through carwow. Now, if you want to see how much money you can save on a new car or compare car reviews, videos, and even use our special number plate scanning car valuation tool, click on the pop-out banner up there to download our free app. Now let's talk about the design, and this is where it gets a little bit confusing for me because I just think it's got the profile of an estate car, yet Skoda calls it a hatchback. Cameraman Jack thinks it's a hatchback as well because he says the rear overhang isn't big enough for an estate, but I disagree. What do you think? Click on the pop-out banner up there to cast your vote. Is it a hatchback or is it an estate? Whose side are you on? Here at the front, the Scala looks like a Skoda. Very much like every other Skoda, really. It's like they have photocopied the Superb and the Octavia and this. It's just very similar. It's not bad though, it's still quite smart. Big headlights, chromium bits around the grille. And this, look, real air breathers. Real, they're not fake. That helps smooth air over the wheels just to improve aerodynamics. On a Skoda, they're thinking about that stuff because you're going to be going that quickly. Oh yeah, that. My favourite part of this car is the rear end. I think Skoda's designers have done a fantastic job on what is an affordable car. Yeah, it looks really smart. I like the way you have this black roof spoiler and it sort of blends in with the blacked out rear screen which extends all the way down here. Then you have huge Skoda letters and they're spaced, almost like on a sports car. You can tell Skoda's now very proud of its brand. Moving down here, this is quite interesting though. This area, you can see it's designed to look like exhaust pipes like you'd have on a V8. I think what's happening here is manufacturers slowly getting us used to the idea of having cars with no exhaust pipes at all. It's a bit like when you try and get your kids to eat carrots when they're very young and you mash them up and you say to them, do you know what, that's just golden mashed potato. Slowly getting them around to the idea of eating the vegetables. Have you ever done that? No, okay. Here on the inside, the Scala, it's pretty blooming nice actually. The design isn't the most flamboyant, but it's functional, it's sensible, and it's smart. Also, the quality is pretty good. So you've got soft touch materials on the dash and on the door tops. Oh my. There are scratchy plastics about the place though, like there and there. But you expect that on a car that starts from just under £17,000. So I can't complain about that. Steering wheel looks good as well, and everything is very sensibly laid out like you get in Skodas. Just all dead easy to use, so you're not looking around going, where the blooming X is that supposed to be? Oh, there it is. Yeah, handy. I like it. And then there's plenty of room as well in the front, loads of height adjustment in the driver's seat, slide if I can find it, seat forward and backwards. Look how far it goes back. So tall people will be fine. And of course, there's lots of adjustments, can't find it again, in the steering wheel. And the wipers go on if you do that too hard with the steering wheel. Here in the back of the Scala, it's very good. Loads of knee room, headroom's good as well. Let's try the centre seat. There is a hump to get your legs over, but the footwells are pretty big. That's fine as well. You will be able to carry 3 adults in the back. They're not going to be the comfiest people in the world, but it is doable. I'm impressed so far with this car. Now let's talk about the boot, and this is one of the other reasons why I think this car is more of an estate than a hatchback, because it's huge. Look at it. You actually have 467 litres of space there, which is a lot. More than a Vauxhall Astra, which is a proper hatchback, that has 370 litres, so proves my point. You've also got some tie-down hooks here and here. Under here, oh, look at that. You've got a spare wheel there as well, and there's some more storage here if you want it.
308, man.
308? 308 has 470 litres, which is, okay, it's 3 litres more than this.
So would you call that an estate?
The 308? No, the 308 is a hatchback. Listen, shut up, let me get on with this. So yeah, there's some extra storage here and here. There's also hooks here and here, plus a 12-volt socket. And all right, maybe it's not an estate car because an estate car would have a flat floor here. You wouldn't have this ridge to lift stuff over. It's a hatchback, it just looks a bit like an estate. You can get the Skoda Scala with a 1 litre 3-cylinder turbo petrol with either 95 horsepower or 115 horsepower. There's also a 1.5 litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol with 150 horsepower. Then there's a 1.6 litre diesel with 115 horsepower. Now you can have all engines either with a manual gearbox or an automatic, apart from the low power 1 litre petrol. This particular car has a 1 litre turbo petrol engine with 115 horsepower. It's supposed to do 0 to 60 in 9.8 seconds, but I'm going to see how quick it really is with me driving using my special app that's beeping at me. Let's launch it. Yeah, this is what every Skoda Scala owner is going to be doing. It's all right, start. This seems stupid. And I guess it kind of is. There we go. We should have a time. Let's see what it is. This did 0 to 60 in 10.4 seconds. Bit slower than expected, but maybe it's my skills with the manual gearbox launch. Now then, it's time for the CarWow 5 annoying things about this car. If you're the kind of person that likes to use a dash cam, you will find it a bit annoying that the Scala's 12-volt socket is all the way back here, so you can have a cable trailing over your gear knob and handbrake, so it's going to get in the way. And that could actually cause you to have an accident in the first place. At least you'll have it on film. The bonnet on this car, oh God, it's so freaking heavy. It's like it's made out of lead and there's no assistance from gas struts or anything. Oh, could use it as a home workout. Oh, I'm getting the burn now. Now you might be thinking, but Matt, these days people don't look under the bonnets of their cars, but I bet Skoda owners still do. They're those kind of people, really. They like to check that their fluids are fully topped up. Let's have a look here. Yeah, it's definitely oily. High specification versions of this car come with keyless go. So you then have a button in the place of where you'd normally put your key, which means that you now have nowhere to put your key. When you remove the parcel shelf, you think you can fit it underneath here because the car is wide enough. Look, it does fit, but there's no recess area for it. So if you then add in a heavy load, that's going to get crushed. It will. It's really annoying that the lane keeping assist is always on by default. So if you want it off, every time you get in the car, you have to press that button, go into the menu and deselect it. So yeah, bugger off, because it gets on your nerves after a while, just constantly tugging at the wheel. It's not all negative though. Here's 5 good things about this car. You get an old-fashioned manually operated handbrake, which means utter chaos! The design of the car's spoiler and the alloy wheels help reduce drag to improve the aerodynamics, but we've gone and ruined them by fitting the roof rack. Forget about that. You can get rear side airbags in the Scala, which is quite unusual on a car at this price point. This particular one doesn't have them. We didn't really care about the rear passengers so much. You get scrolling indicators, just like on an Audi. Oh yeah, so cool. To prevent the seat belts from getting trapped behind the seat when you fold them down, look, you got a little holder for them there. Keeps the buckle in place, so you're good to go. Right, let's talk about this car's technology. So the infotainment system is actually really pretty good. The screen's nice and bright, it's easy and responsive to use, everything's laid out dead simply as well. It's also got gesture controls, so I can't, honestly, see, come on, by doing stuff like, I use my hand. It has gesture controls, they're a bit hit and miss, as you just saw. It's handy that you've got shortcut buttons down the side, so you can just whiz through the different menus if you want to do it that way. Oh, that's enough of that. The navigation system is pretty good as well. It's easy to program and to find your route. It's fairly responsive to the screen. There's a bit of delay, but it's not too bad. However, if you want a better infotainment system, the one in the brand new Volkswagen Golf is superior. And if you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can see my full in-depth video review of that car. The digital driver's display has decent functions, so you can cycle through things like navigation, the stereo, and all that kind of stuff. You're also able to change the view, but they're a little bit lame. The main one's all right, and so is a widescreen sat-nav, but then you have this one, which is, what's that all about? And then this one, which looks like it's broken. And this one is sporty, which is kind of a bit of a lie, because the car isn't in any way, shape or form. In terms of connectivity, it's all right for this kind of car. So the top of the range sat nav does have online traffic updates. You can pay extra to have a data connection and Wi-Fi hotspot for the car. Then you have 2 USB-C inputs down there. There's another 2 in the back as well. It's enough. Let's move on to practicality. So the rear seats fold down and they split 60-40. When you fold them down, you do get this big ridge, so it's going to be difficult to push heavy items right to the front of the car from the back because they're going to get caught on there. So that's a bit annoying. You don't normally have that on estate cars. You normally have a continuous load bed. Also on estate cars, you normally have the seats splitting 3 ways, so you can carry long items and 2 passengers either side. So maybe this is a hatchback after all. Oh, look at this, the rear windows. They dig all the way down, which pleases me greatly. It's quite unusual these days. If you're lucky enough or unlucky enough to have triplets, then you'll be pleased to know that the Scala is available with 3 Isofix anchor points for 3 child seats, because you can get it with Isofix in the front as well. In fact, this car is quite spacious in the back, so if you need to fit one of those big bulky rear facing seats, it's dead easy to do. There's enough room to manoeuvre it, and you can fit it in without having to move this front seat too far forward. In terms of interior cubby spaces, Skoda says that if you add up all the little hidey holes in this car, you get 26 litres of space. So I'll talk you through them now. There is the glove box, which is cooled by the air conditioning, which is an okay size. Then there's this area here, which isn't such an okay size, but you can put your old receipts in there. You've got a couple of cup holders there, some storage there where you can put your mobile phone. Underneath the front passenger seat, you have a very small little drawer. Then as you move over here, you have another small little drawer for the driver. The door bins are massive here in the front. If I move into the back, you shall see that they are, come on, get in, please, don't let me down. They are pretty massive as well. Then when you fold this down, you have some cup holders here. There are pockets on the seat backs and then some extra pockets here, look, on the sides of the seats. Perfect for a holster for a carwow stick of truth. Oh, there's even some netting in the parcel shelf in the back. Then the Skoda's Simply Clever features designed to make your motoring life easier, such as a handy clip there for your parking ticket, the ice scraper in the fuel filler cap, which includes a magnifying glass, wow, yeah, and even a tyre depth gauge. How responsible is that? An inbuilt funnel for the screen wash, so it doesn't matter if you're really crap aim. Some went in. There's some little grippers in the 1 cup holder, so you get the traction to undo a bottle top one-handed. And finally, there's the classic umbrella in the driver's door, just like on a Rolls Royce. So this umbrella probably costs about $5.99 on Amazon. As you probably know, Volkswagen owns Skoda, and so underneath the skin, this car is very similar to a Volkswagen Golf. However, you can only get the Scala as front-wheel drive. There is no all-wheel drive version available at all. You can, however, get the car with adjustable sport suspension. It's slightly lower than the standard setup, and you're able to stiffen it up by pressing a button and going into sports mode. On a Scala. If you don't have that upgraded suspension, when you go into sports mode on the normal cars, all it does is change the steering stiffness and the responsiveness of the accelerator and the air conditioning for some reason. What is sporty air conditioning? Bizarre. I tell you what's also bizarre, check this out, right? Look at the images they've used. So sport, they've got an image of a motorway. For individual, so you can set it up yourself, a DJ's equalizer. Eco is a twisty road, surely that should be for sport. And normal is a town with no one in it, which isn't normal at all. Let's see what this Scala is like to drive. Starting with in town, so it's easy, controls are light. The brakes may be just a little bit too sharp, but you'll soon get used to that. But for the first few miles, you're going to be like banging your head off the steering wheel while you adjust to them. The gear shift, it's a bit notchy, but it's accurate. It's a bit better, really, having the manual gearbox than the automatic when driving around town at slow speeds, because the auto can be a bit shunty. In terms of manoeuvrability, well, I'm testing it driving around some cones. Oh, yes. The turning circles, all right, it's kind of par for the course for this kind of car. Better than a Ford Focus is, which is handy if you like to make a lot of U-turns. The suspension's pretty good on this car as well. Deals with bumps nicely. You don't feel potholes too badly if you hit them. It's not quite as comfy overall as a Volkswagen Golf, but it's pretty blooming close. So there's very little to complain about, really, and all-round visibility is quite good as well, especially with the panoramic roof. Although I don't know why I said that, because you don't drive along looking up like that. Just makes it feel lighter in here, that's all. Nice, easy in town. Let's try it on the motorway. So first thing I'm going to do is see what it's like at getting up to motorway speed. So I'm at 50, I'm in fourth, I'm going to floor it. How does this little 1 litre engine do? Come on, you can do it. You can do it, and did it. It's got enough punch, this engine. If it was fully loaded, this car with loads of people and their luggage, wouldn't be so good, but it's all right if you're driving on your own most of the time. But what about the economy? Well, this car is averaging 41.4 miles per gallon, which is good. Quite pleased with that. Also, it's quite comfy for long distances. The seats are nice and it's not too noisy because the car does keep out the road noise and the wind noise pretty well. It's an impressive little thing really, considering how much it doesn't cost. Let's try it on a twisty road. So I'm going to go to the sports mode. It's not going to make a difference, I don't think, but let's do it anyway, just for the placebo effect. Well, it goes around corners quick, making the tyres squeal a bit. No Skoda owner is going to drive like this, so I'm really putting it through the test. You do notice that this 3-cylinder engine does get a bit thrummy when you thrash it. It's like brrr, it starts to vibrate quite a bit, and the steering's look, I'm not going around a corner and doing that. It's not the most responsive steering, but you can tell it's been set up just to be more safe and secure rather than fun. Something like a Ford Focus is more engaging to drive, and if you'd like to see my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner up there to go watch it. But really, for the kind of people that are going to buy this car, and if you're interested in this kind of car, it drives absolutely well enough. It's good. Now let's talk about equipment levels. So the range kicks off with the S, and it's pretty basic, but it does have key features such as Bluetooth and air conditioning, and a little slice and taste of luxury. You get leather on the steering wheel, gear knob and handbrake. What a treat. Next up is the SE, and it has some useful additions such as rear parking sensors, which is handy on an estate car. Oh yeah, I won't let it go. It also gets cruise control and an 8-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Step up to the SEL, then you get this smarter 9-inch touchscreen with inbuilt satellite navigation. You also get digital dials, dual zone climate control, and 17 instead of 16-inch alloy wheels. Finally, there's the Monte Carlo, which gets some exterior and interior styling upgrades, including some red stitching on the seats. Oh yeah. It also includes this rather wonderful panoramic glass sunroof, though you can have this as an option on lower models in the range for 1,300 quid. Then of course you can get a bunch of options. So this particular car is fitted with blind spot warning, which is £535. It's got the reversing camera upgrade, £305, and voice commands, which is £25. It's like, why do they bother? It's not worth the admin. You can also get some accessories. So this roof rack is £150, and then there's a bespoke Skoda cycle carrier for £110. And I think with these things fitted, it's making the car look more like an estate, isn't it? It's all very lifestyle-y. Am I convincing you? Okay. The big question is though, what do I think is the best engine and trim combination of the Skoda Scala? Well, what I've actually done is built my perfect version of this car using the carwow configurator, and I've got some offers back from our dealers, and if you want to see what those offers are and what I think is the best version of this car, click on the pop-out banner up there to go check it out. So then, what's my final verdict on the Skoda Scala? Should you, wrong button, avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist the Scala. It's a little bit soulless, but it's actually a really good car, especially for the money. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this channel for more videos, and if you click on the deals box to the right, you can see how much you can save on a new car at CarWow, or click on the video windows below to watch another of my videos.